either snatch or kill the bad guys and then move out.
And those guys were busy.
I said, dude, this is America. You can be whatever you are able to be. There's nothing holding you back.
What was it like for you to go to combat and to be a liaison with the Polish GROM, being Polish?
Yeah, well, for me, first thing, I didn't know what the GROM was. I was told there was Polish Special Forces. And when I checked in Baghdad, I had a brief from my commanders, and they were kind of a little bit standoffish to say, well, we don't know who these guys are, and they briefed me on what's expected, what we need to do. But I was thinking, like, the best way to find out is just to go on the job with them and work with them. But I was like, well, we don't know these guys that well. We cannot risk your life, because you know how it is. It gets dicey, in those missions sometimes, especially the assaults and direct action mission. And I understand that, because if something was to happen to me while I'm working with GROM, there could be some repercussions to my commanders too, that they allow these things to happen. But I was able to convince them. I said, like, no, if we want to be effective, we need to cooperate closely, but I need to be with them too as well. So they allowed me to, for maybe like first 3 missions, and then it was like all out. Say, yeah, these guys are great. Go ahead, yeah, do it. That's fine. Let's coordinate it. Let's do it. We did start doing assaults together. So very often, if we needed more people, we bring the GROM guys. If GROM needed more people, he used us on the assault. And then one night we did set up the perimeter, and GROM was doing assault, I was doing it. And then next day was the vice versa. The GROM was doing perimeter, and we were doing assaults. So for me, it was pretty great. I was like double dipping on the missions, and I loved it. So
how were they?
Did
they operate the same as we did?
They operate pretty much the same way. We find out that their tactics are good. Their weapons are pretty much the same. Their manufacturer of their M4 was different at the time, and they had some issues in the desert environment with it, but that was just, I think, something minor. It was noticeable to them. We didn't really register it. And they were quick, too. Their assault techniques were very fast, and I would say, I don't say brutal, but these guys are consumed professionals. They don't tolerate any deviation from their SOPs, unless there's some flexibility is needed to save lives or to accomplish the mission. But otherwise, they are well trained, and again, like I say, they are fast. The funny thing is sometimes when we snatch the bandits, terrorists, we had to get them with us. So if we got the call, it happened that, hey, we have bad guys moving on the location, you need to bail out, you need to stop what you're doing, get out. So to evacuate, sometimes once they handcuff the guy, we handcuff the guys. So when we walk them down the stairs, GROM them just toss them to the window. The other guys were waiting, they caught them, throw them on the Humvee, and here we go. So our guys were asking sometimes, why are they so fast? I say, because they don't fuck around. They just like, when they have a terrorist in their hands, the guy is just flying out of the window into a GROM's carrying hands, and they put him on the Humvee, and they are ready to go. So that was kind of surprise for me too, because I didn't expect them to be so well trained and so well coordinated. Their assaults were working just like ours. It's very similar, if not the same tactics, because they learn from the same people. So they had the exposure, also more exposure to SAS and German special forces, but this was not. That was good, because we can actually benefit from their experience as they were benefiting from our experience. It was a mutual, I think, cooperation and work on accomplishing the mission. So our missions were together.
Interesting. Yeah, I never got to work with them, but I remember when I was contracting for CIA, I saw them. They were co-located to an adjacent forward operating base, and those guys were busy. They were going out.
They loved it, yeah.
Several times a night. They had these dune buggy looking things, and they were just tearing it up.
Yeah.
And made me extremely jealous to watch. But I was like, oh man. Yeah. So what about their team dynamic? Do they have a good camaraderie? And
Same like ours. That's like
Very
not much
similar.
different. Yeah, they are very close with each other. I would say because they are way smaller than us, they are very close. These guys know each other better than they know their family members, just like us too. You know. So yeah, that was very not only educational for me, I think for all of us to work with them. It was also very pleasant, very nice to work with them doing the assaults, take down the targets. We really enjoy working together. And it was getting to the point even that some of our guys were coming in and said, "Hey, Drago, can you help me? Can you talk to GROM guys so I can do assault with them, and just so I can put my record that I did work with GROM, I did the direct action missions with them." So yeah, I think they didn't have a problem with them because they trusted us. So we have quite a few guys going on targets with them if they wanted to, and I have quite a few pictures of it too as well from our guys working together with GROM.
Did they speak English?
At that time, they did not. Today, there's a requirement. You cannot be in the GROM without speaking English. So they are very proficient. I would say some of them speak better English than I do because there's a requirement as they go to regular schools. And besides the training, everybody had to learn English. Besides in Poland now, English is very popular. Like before, everybody had to know Russian. Like in my case, we had to learn Russian. Today, nobody forced people to learn English, but people want to learn English because it's so productive, because it's so empowering.
What were I'm just curious, what were your conversations with them? I mean, did you have conversations about your childhood?
There was very technical ones because, doing the assault mission with the direct action mission within the foreign unit could be very dangerous. So we did rehearse things. I had to learn their way of communication, their tactics. But because I speak Polish, then there was no issue to learn that stuff. But the first conversation was just, incorporate me into their structures. And that was a little bit intense. But they were great guys, so they were very helpful. A lot of fun too, a lot of laugh, because my Polish was very rusty at the time. Things that I still do say things that means totally different things that I intend to say. But at that time, so they were very helpful. But then we started drinking together. We started having a party together too whenever there was a chance. It was a bit low if we could, and that was like, this is how we created bonds that persist even today between those team guys who work with GROM or even those who didn't but heard about our missions with GROM. That big friendship continue too. They still come here sometimes to the States. When we go up there, they are always helpful, try to help you and accommodate our guys. So the friendship that we create on the battlefield continues, and still is, we are very close.
What about, you had not been back to Poland since you left, correct?
Yes.
So did you have a lot of questions about?
I did. Yes, I did. I was asking them about stuff. Well, I did when I went with my SEAL platoon in 1995 for a brief couple of days, 3 days visit in Gdańsk. We didn't work with GROM. We worked with their commandos from Formosa unit. And so I kind of like a little bit seen, for me it was surreal because I left as a felon, a criminal, and then I was greeted as a hero in Poland when I came back. Not maybe as a hero, but I was greeted as a valuable, respectable person. That was very kind of different for me, that first visit. And then, that was a very short visit. So the first longer visit was later on when I retired from the Navy.
So did they have questions for you about what your
they did.
childhood was like in prison? And
for them, the more significant thing was that I was part of the Solidarity trade union movement in Poland in 1980s. For them, big deal was that I participated in underground structures and I resist communism. For them, it was very fascinating that that I spent time in prison fighting for Polish freedom. So they were very respectful of that. But otherwise, there was a lot of questions about America. Like how is the life, how are the people, how did it happen that I succeed, I became who I am, and where some people were not that successful, and so there was a lot of questions that I had to answer about America, about my life in America, and about my America.
Did they have? I mean, but I bet there was a lot of chatter back and forth about it. Were you very curious about what Poland was like now, or did you?
At that time, I was curious because, again, remember they were part of the Warsaw Pact. They were opposing us, NATO, so they were trained to fight us, and suddenly here we are working very close. I think I think we work so close with them. I don't remember in combat working any other forces from different countries working that close with us, with SEALs, as Polish GROM did. So that's they earned a lot of respect in our community, but also I believe we earn a lot of respect for them. For them, was curious, how the foreigner like me can come. Somebody like me can come to America and join the more secret forces, the tip of the spear that America has. So they were a little bit fascinated by this. How is it possible? We know in our unions, the foreigners cannot serve. You have to be a citizen. You have to have access to secret clearance. You have to have a secret clearance to serve in SEAL teams. So that's something that for them was very fascinating. How did I pull it off? I said, dude, this is America. You can be whatever you are able to be. There's nothing holding you back.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.